Okay, so welcome back to part 2. I've given the SOG an extra sharpen. See, if I've pushed the bevel back as far as I can to make it all one bevel instead of just like wedge convex sort of. Well, it looked much like the compound bevel really. It's a small wedge convex, so I've tried to do it like a full bevel convex. It hasn't quite got there. It seems to be a little bit hollow ground actually. It looked flat ground, but where it skipped over the stone in the middle, it seemed to be a bit of hollow ground. Probably might not have been, but it's just very hard to reach anyway. It has definitely improved on the sharpness. So let's do our test again. I've also sharpened my grounds from Brooks so that you can compare that, and then we'll do some wood carving again. Let's see, much better. And it's nearly push cutting that. Yeah, that's what I mean. You've got to sort of tilt the paper so that you come at an angle with an axe like that, so you can see what it's like. And now that I've sharpened the grounds from Brooks, that actually is, I would say, is a bit sharper than the SOG. Yeah, that is blisteringly sharp actually. I've just took it to the, I can't remember what steel it is. Is it 1075? Can't remember. I'm sure it's a carbon steel. I think it is anyway. Can't remember. If anyone knows, leave what steel it is in the comments. So I really can't remember. So yeah, let's have a look at our bite angle while we're here before we go and do any wood carving. Oh, I'm a bit awkward here. No, I'll have to do it when I'm set up. Okay, so let's have a look at our bite angle. This grant's from Brooks. Well, this is our working angle, so slide up until I start to get there. You see that angle? Sort of down. Yeah, I mean I'm biting there. So I'll SOG, biting there. It's a bit out. I'm sure it's a bit better though. Anyway, let's try. It's a lot sharper now, and it's definitely better the bite angle. So let's try a few strokes. So I'll see if I can take a little slither off here with my grounds first. That's probably not the best thing to do. It's not thin slither here, see? Just see how much control we got. If I want to take little bits off here. So you see the sort of what that's like, our bite angle. So I'll try the same. Let's take a little bit off here. God, that's a hell of a lot better. The bite angle is still further out than the grounds first, but you know I could use this. No way I would really struggle to have used it before, but just that increase in sharpness and that altering of the bevel angle get a slightly shallower bite because it was out here, wasn't it? And that's the trouble with what. Where are we now on here? Yeah, I'm there. That's not. It was sort of like there before. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, look at that. I couldn't do that before. Just try taking a little sliver off here. Yeah. Yeah, see, I can nearly meet the layers. Quite. Let's take another bit off the bottom here. I hope you agree. You can see that is much better. So another go, a little go on here, some little blank. Yeah, so we can take down this little bit there to meet that layer. Nope, that is a usable woodworking tool now for me. You know, it's not obviously as good as the grounds from Brooks, but it's good enough. It's usable. And let's face it, it's never going to be. If it was a different grind, and I could, you weren't really able to do it with this. I can just focus. Yeah, see, you wouldn't. It's the way it's set up. I couldn't really even put a one-sided edge on it, but that definitely made this into something that could do a good job, a reasonable job of. Well, I could use this. There's no doubt about it. I could use this. I mean, let's do a bit. And this is exactly what I would do when I would be making a blank. I'd just be trying to refine it down to the stage where I could, you know, put the knife. Yeah, that's fine. I like it because you can choke up underneath it. Put your thumb on the back there, or wherever. Yeah, I think I like there, and it's quite accurate. Yeah, before trying to do this, I was just bouncing off. Just the angle that I was working at just wouldn't let me take little slithers off. It's bouncing off a little bit. But it's usable, it's workable, it's definitely. And it's pleasurable to use, shall I say. You know what I mean? I could do this with it originally, but it would be a flipping nightmare. I wouldn't enjoy the process because it would be, you know, you'd be working hard. But now, as you can see, yeah. Slither off there. Yeah, see, it's got enough finesse about it. Bit there, maybe take this off a bit. There we go. There. Yeah, that's perfectly usable now. Right, so let's have a look at, have we lost anything? Have we done any damage to that edge? So let's get a bit of paper, zoom out a little bit, just wipe any crap off. There you go. So that's no damage. There's no damage there. I will stroke it up. Actually, that stroke's not working very well. Now I'm going steep and gentle. If there was any edge damage, you'd be leaving little lines across. There you go. Again, that's the angle. One more time. There's a knack to it. We'll go in at that sort of angle and twist the blade sort of flat with the paper a bit. And then well, when you do it right. So this is the hard cut now. If we go that way. Yeah, and it'll do that. Granfers, I think it's just a better steel really. It seems to take, what do you think? It is one-sided, so it's hard, it's not apples for apples, but even that's lost a bit. You know, there isn't much difference between them really. But the main thing is, it's edge sharpness is one thing. Really, it does help obviously, but it's the bite angle, and I think I've just improved the bite angle a bit, just enough to make this into a usable tool. The increase on the sharpness. I'm tempted, well, if you've just seen me, I've pretty much made a blank there, haven't I? It hasn't sustained any damage. It's just got a convex edge on it now, and it does make a difference. It's much more progressive. So if I was to put a compound bevel on this now, let's say if someone had this axe and couldn't sharpen it, so they put a compound bevel on, what effect that would have. Even if it was comparably sharp, it would just turn the bite angle, you know, whereas the bite angle there, if you put a compound bevel, it would be there, and that makes all the difference. Even there, I mean, that's how it felt when I had it. It was like I was working at that angle, whereas there it is now. It's much more with the grain, much more usable. Anyway, so there we have our SOG Campax convex sharpened, and hope you enjoyed. Cheers now.